There's a practice in showbiz that's been around since almost the beginning. If you can't get the person you want, get someone like them. Can't get Struzan? Well, then get someone like him. Can't get Elton John or Phil Collins? Then get Randy Newman or Barry Manilow. Can't get Leinfeld? Then get a baboon with head trauma. And let's say it's the 1970s and you want a celebrity like, Humphrey Bogart, who's actually been dead for about 20 years. Well, then you get this guy. Robert Saatchi, at one point the world's most accomplished celebrity impersonator. Saatchi would portray Bogey in a number of projects, like film cameos and a tour with Woody Allen's Play It Again Sam.
Say, what's that stuff you was putting on your face?
That's Canoe. It's an aftershave lotion.
Yeah? What about all that other stuff?
That's Lavoris, Men in Spray deodorant, and Johnson & Johnson baby powder.
For Christ's sake, kid, you're gonna smell like a French cat house.
Some projects you might consider grave robbing, like a number of commercials. And some other projects that were just... yeah. At one point, Saatchi was so infamous in the industry that he got a starring role as a look-alike. Adapted from the novel of the same name, the man with Bogart's face was hand-tailored with Saatchi in mind.
Say, Sport, don't I see you sometime on television in old movies?
No, that's somebody else.
He sure look like you.
No, I look like him.
So on a very special episode of Familiar Faces, let's take a look at Saatchi's grand opus in semi-entirety. Our movie begins in a plastic surgeon's office in Hollywood, California.
I've worked on thousands of patients. All kinds. Movie stars, charity cases. Never had a request like this.
Had this one clown, said he came home stinking drunk one night and tried to make himself a can of soup. Long story short, he gashes the sides of his mouth trying to lick the bottom of the lid. So I says to him, I said, you're gonna have to come up with a better story than that if you ever want to be taken serious again. I wonder whatever happened to that guy. So it turns out to be our titular character, Sam Marlowe, who has had his face reconstructed to look like that of Humphrey Bogart's. And what does our character do with his new face? Why not kill an old man? I have become Bogart, Angel of Death.
I tell you, that's Humphrey Bogart, a car. Can I see your driver's license, Bogart's been gone for over 20 years, but he's ran that old heat. Bogart!
James Dean told me this would happen when he appeared in my cereal this morning. So naturally, Sam gets the reaction any cosplayer gets as people stop and stare at the newly resurrected Bogart as he makes his way back to his new office. Yes, insomnia is badass, but you don't have to rub it in our faces. And soon enough, we're introduced to our sex joke for the movie. Yeah, I wasn't sleeping. I was just trying the Vulcan mind meld on a bottle of scotch.
I'm here about the ad you put in the paper.
Which ad, Duchess? I put in more than one.
In response to being a secretary.
Oh, I thought maybe you were a client. I get $200 a day plus expenses.
Oh, that's terrific. How much do you pay for a secretary?
$125 a week.
That don't seem right.
Why don't it?
Well, you get $200 a day.
Plus expenses. But then, I take the chances.
Not doing this, though. I drive a semi for Milton Bradley.
So I'll take the job.
I decide that.
It's the only real resume there is, ladies.
You're hired.
Thanks. Do you mind if I ask you something?
Ask.
Well, aren't you hot in that trench coat?
No, I don't wear underwear.
Neither do I.
I noticed that.
You know, you remind me of someone.
Yeah? Who?
Processing. File not
I
found.
can't quite place it. But maybe it'll come to me while I'm sleeping. Things come to me in bed.
Bet they do.
So after confirming that Sam's new skeletary is a brick house, physically and mentally, this happens. It was the T-virus infected corpse of B. Arthur that had fused with the head of Nancy Grace. No, it's Sam's first client. That also happens to be his landlady.
Is this business or what?
It ain't all what.
In that case, I get $200 a day plus expenses.
Nicky's my boyfriend. Disappeared.
Wonder
There's a
why.
picture of us.
Nicky photographed short, tired, and frightened. Mother photographed like a
Super
shoot of
Mario.
art. But then, that's what she looked like.
Find Nicky and we'll work something out.
Yeah, okay, Mother, but I can't use a bodybuilding course.
How about 3 months free rent?
Sounds okay.
His name's on the back of the picture. It's a Greek. I can't pronounce it.
Michaud, Michod. Okay, movie, can our next client not be so wacky?
Sam Marlowe.
Oh, Mr. Marlowe, thank heavens you're there. I need your help.
I get $200 a day plus expenses.
Mr. Marlowe, I don't know where to turn.
You just turn right, sister. What's the case?
Not over the phone. Please, can you be at the Hollywood Bowl in half an hour?
Okay, what's playing?
Nothing.
Well, then why don't you save the tickets till there's something there you want to see?
Please.
Come up with better jokes, please.
Waiting. Please hurry.
She sounded desperate.
I better take my sweet ass time. So after a few money shots and a driving montage, we finally get on with the plot.
First, there were 2 things I needed. The Derringer, nice and cozy in its custom holster. Then a bag of unshelled peanuts. The redhead was sitting where she said she'd be, only she was a brunette.
Same phrase uttered by anyone who's ever used online dating. So we meet Elsa, a young woman who says strange men have been following her father.
These men who've been following him, I wonder if one of them looks anything like the fellow who's been creeping up the aisle towards us. What? He's been crawling on my peanut shells for the last few minutes.
Stand right up, Buster, and make yourself known.
Wow, really? Not only were you stupid enough to crawl down the only aisle with peanuts in them, you decided to dress like that for your illegal activities? Let's see, I'm going stalking tonight. What says dangerous killer? I know, 19th century fat cat with my niece's baby blanket wrapped around my head.
Sure. Miss Borst, you get up in the next row.
Do it.
Okay, tone deaf, fashion retarded. What are the odds that these guys are as dangerous as a machete made of jello? I can't get a fix on them with those neon blue and white hoods over their heads. After that, Sam gives Elsa a ride home, where they find a not too friendly welcome. Got shot in the pacemaker, died of simultaneous gunshot wound and electrocution. Sadly, Elsa's father dies before they can ask him any questions, and just when she's on the brink, Sam takes control of the situation.
Okay, I'm gonna call the police. When I get here, I'll do the talking. You better go into the other room. This isn't pretty. And make some coffee.
Oh, okay. What compliments watching the life fade away from your father's eyes? French roast or breakfast blend?
I take mine black with a dollop of sugar.
Oh, well, is Splenda okay? I just watched my dad die, you stupid dick! Next scene, we're introduced to the Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Bullock of this story.
Lieutenant Marion Bombera, homicide, was in charge. Bombera's face looked like sometime or another it had been hit hard by an iron frying pan.
Hey, we can hear you. You're speaking
Second in
perfectly
command
out
was
loud.
Sergeant Horace Hacksaw.
He said my name.
Hacksaw would have...
While the party's over, stop by headquarters tomorrow morning. And try not to shoot anybody else unless it's absolutely necessary, okay?
Depends on how long the line is at Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow. So after a night of just resting his eyes at Elsa's, Sam heads back to his office.
Sam, this place is a beehive. I don't know what to do first.
Don't do anything. Here, I brought you some donuts.
Oh, thanks.
Things got ugly. Shot about 4 people to get them. Then we're introduced to yet another client, but this one seems to be Sam's favorite.
He didn't look exactly like Gene Tinney. Close enough. Eyes a little Chinese. Red lips with teeth a little too large.
Hey, I'm very sensitive about my overbite. She wants Sam to help her get back some incriminating photos of her. So they go down to this bar where they find themselves at an impasse.
Mr. Kane's in his private office. The lady enters. Now, you don't.
I'll think it over.
Yeah, you think it over.
But I thought that we were going in together.
Go in. Nice place Mr. Kane's got here.
Yeah, we like it.
Topless?
And bottomless.
Very classy. Say, got a light?
Sure.
I thought it over.
Oh, but the badassery doesn't stop there. He goes in the office and starts beating the crap out of everyone, including Gina and Ross Perot. He gets back the photos and blackmail money, but before he can explain why he punched her, Sam gets knocked out himself and wakes up to...
You're a damn fool, George. You almost killed him.
the fat man from Overdrawn at the Memory Bank. No, it's actually Gina's dad, the wealthy Commodore. And after a few brief apologies and explanations, we get the Commodore's life story.
I have a passion for collecting.
Yeah? I got a passion for passion.
These items are priceless. It's one of Isabella's diamond rings.
The Nostalgia Critic's first hat.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to see these artifacts or anything much longer. I'm going blind, sir.
Wow, no emotional buildup whatsoever. Sounded downright eager to tell us, too. Glad other movies don't drop their payload like that. Life is like a box of chocolates. By the way, my legs were in braces until I was 11. My very good friend Bubba was killed in the war. My mama died of cancer, and my girlfriend Jenny is a slut. And that's all I have to say about that.
I'm in your debt, sir. If I can ever be of service, please call on me.
Just as long as it doesn't involve any interfacing. But before Sam leaves, he feels he has to settle some unfinished business.
I don't sap so good on Tuesdays.
What was that lip thing for? What emotion could you possibly be trying to express? Shock, amusement, curiosity, arousal? Speaking of arousal, Gina, forgetting that this psycho just punched the crap out of her and embedded an inch of glass in her butler's head, gives him $1,000 plus expenses, which I guess means her tongue. So then it's back to the office where we meet client number 3, Mr. Zebra, who wants Sam to track down the eyes of Alexander.
Alexander who?
Why, the Great, of course.
Oh, of course.
Well?
Well, what?
Is it, acceptable?
It might be, Say, this Alexander's been dead for quite some time, hasn't he?
Of course. Over 2,300 years.
Well, then what shape do you expect his eyes to be in?
Not his real eyes, of course.
Oh, of course.
The eyes of the statue.
Ah, those eyes.
Of course.
You know, you keep saying of course enough times, it sounds silly.
Of course!
That's what I mean.
So on his way to Elsa, Sam starts to realize that his to-do list is starting to get longer and longer. By now you'd think they'd be tracking down leads or finding clues like phone numbers or a letter.
What letter?
From father and addressed to him.
Postmarked yesterday. Are you sure it's his handwriting?
Yes, but it doesn't make sense. It's some sort of a poem.
Under the tramp of marching feet, under the beat of daring drum, follow the tree beneath the post, age will show the way to go. To a stone, high or low.
Jinkies! Velma said jinkies! It must be a clue!
So while trying to figure out Boris's riddle, Sam hears some noise coming from the upstairs attic and finds something just slightly bigger than a mouse.
Evening, friend.
Gee, Diablo!
Well, well. If it isn't little lost Nicky.
Will you please put gun down?
So this is where you've been hibernating.
What does that hibernate mean?
Resting.
Yes, it turns out Nicky was using the attic as a hideout because, well, I'll let him explain it.
Before she go, how you say it, drain it, exhaust. She big woman.
If you say so.
I love, but she love too much. I need how you say the hibernating.
Hibernating.
Okay. So Nicky and Sam make an arrangement. He'll hide him away for a few more days, and Nicky will let Sam turn him in for the 3 months' rent.
I stay here till I'm ready for her.
By the way, horror is spelled with H, yes? In your case, it is. With that settled, Sam went back to his office, wondering if he could find the stones in the back of his sock drawer, when Gina shows up again, and the two take a night on the town.
Look, Sam, it's the Wax Museum. I've driven by it 100 times and never gone in. Have you?
Not since this morning.
It's still open. You want to go in?
Sure. Hello, Spoony.
Spoony, where?
Welcome back.
Oh, Mr. Nastas, this is Spoony Singh. He owns all this.
Beautiful lady. Love to do her in wax.
Some other time, Spoony. We're just taking a quick tour.
Enjoy yourselves. Be sure to go through the House of Mirrors, our newest attraction.
Quite a showman, old Spoony.
Huh. You think if Spoony had started running a wax museum or suddenly turned into an old wizard, he'd make a vlog about it. So Sam and Gina make their way through the museum and end up taking the Hall of Mirrors for a spin. But their fun turns deadly as one of the Woolite Banditos shows up, and they both start shooting up the place. Naturally, Spoony is upset.
What the hell is going on in there? Those mirrors cost me a fortune!
Wow, I haven't seen Spoony that worked up since quarantine.
Son of a bitch.
I heard that, Sam.
I found my way out of the House of Mirrors without much trouble, since there wasn't much of a house left.
Sam, for heaven's sake, do you know how much those mirrors cost?
Probably less than you spent on Pumpkinhead. Okay, I think we got the pattern of the movie down. We had a fight, then there's the police. Now we should be getting another client about now. Alright, way to mix it up, movie. You want a sugar cube, girl? Nay! I mean, no.